The boys and girls indoor track team had a very successful season, coming close to breaking a lot of individual records and even some state records. They sent 3 students to states this year. This is surely a season to remember. Coach O'Reilly, assistant coach of the boys and girls indoor track team, shares with us his thoughts on one coaching decision he could have done differently this season.
Yeah, so every season, the season ends. Not everybody's breaking records at the end of the year. It's just kind of, and as part of the coach's, process, we're always looking at like, okay, what could we maybe have done better? The biggest challenge during the winter season is obviously the weather. Once the snow is on the ground, we really have limited space to train. And so that really impacts our weekly mileage. And so for kids who run longer distances, it's harder. So this year we were forced in on bikes and ellipticals a lot. And I think looking back on that, I would have forced us to get on our feet a little bit more, even if it was out on the roads, which is not ideal during the winter. But I should have had our boys and girls, mid-distance kids, on their feet more on the roads.
Senior captain Joe Ruggiero shares his message to next year's indoor track team.
I'd like them to stay positive. That's probably the biggest thing in indoor track. I mean, it's always cold out. It's always depressing outside. So really you just need to stay positive, stay with it, work hard, and that's the only way you're going to reach your full potential.
Senior captain Joe Ruggiero shares his opinion on one thing that he believes could have been done differently by players this season.
I want to see more teamwork. We stayed strong for most of the season, but towards the end, a lot of us tried to trail off, do our own things, and I think the difference in times when it came from everyone grouping up more, especially in the relays, working together more, and that's probably the biggest overall thing that I'd like to see.
Assistant coach Steve O'Reilly shares how he believes that the team did as a whole this season.
So I think both on the boys and the girls side, our emphasis this year was just individually, can we get better? And if we can get better individually, then that should result as us getting better as a team, like obviously, right? Mm-hmm. And so for the most part, we emphasize in order to get better, you got to be consistent and you got to learn as much as you can. And I think we actually did a really good job. The athletes did a really good job of that this year. Kids asked good questions, kids showed up, they worked hard when they were there, so we improved.
This year's indoor track team had their fair share of ups and downs, sending 3 talented athletes to the state open